Good morning to one and all. Respected President Sir, with your kind permission, shall we start today's session?
Yeah, please go ahead.
This is the second day of global conference entitled Innovation and Practices in Multidisciplinary Research for Global and Sustainable Development, Challenges, Opportunities and Approaches, organized by Indian Institute of Material Management, Jaipur, in association with Bennett University of Agricultural Sciences, Romania, and Global Foundation for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, wherein Nirvana University, Jaipur contributed as social media partner. This global conference focuses on new ideas and innovations needed for sustainable development. The main aim of the present conference is to discuss holistic approach for global and sustainable development. The inaugural ceremony of this conference was graced by Shrimati Shakuntala Rawat, Honorable Cabinet Minister, Industry, State Enterprises and Devasthan Government of Rajasthan. Thereafter, esteemed guests of foreign countries delivered their keynote speech yesterday, namely Dr. Theodore, Advisor for Higher Education, International Relations and UNESCO of the Minister of Education from Romania, Dr. Laura, Associate Professor, Vice Dean for Research, Erasmus Departmental Coordinator, Faculty of Agriculture, IRO Officer for Asia, Dr. Raul, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Agriculture, Erasmus Head of Office, Bennett University of Agricultural Sciences, Romania. Thereafter, Engineer N.K. Jain, President Global Foundation for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, share us valuable things which is to be needed for sustainable development. After Jain Saab, Engineer Purushottam Khandelwal, Vice Chairman, IIM Jaipur, delivered a speech on IIM working and their achievements. Thereafter, we discussed various things which is needed for the development and a futuristic approach of the country. As of now, we are on the second day of the international conference to have keynote speech of Shri Jayanta. Therefore, I would like to call our President, sir, to please welcome our esteemed guest and enlighten us with your words of wisdom. Sir, over to you, please.
Jaipur and other associate members of this global conference, I would like to heartily welcome Mr. Jayanta Chakraborty sir. Sir, बहुत स्वागत, अभिनंदन and welcome sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's an honor to me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, and I would like to welcome all the members from Indian Institute of Material Management, Jaipur, from other branches, our National Councillor, Mr. Purushottam Khandelwal Sahab, Vice Chairman, A.K. Goyal Sahab, Secretary Dhirenji, other executive members, my fellow colleagues from Nirvana University, Jaipur, other friends connected from social media across the globe for this wonderful topic, wonderful speech on this lean manufacturing process is the key success and solution for supply chain management. So once again, I heartily welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom. Now I would like to introduce our esteemed guest, Shri Jayanta Chakraborty. He is Director and Owner of WARP Technology and CEO of ARB Buildcon Private Limited. He is in the profession of material management from last 32 years and has an extensive experience in strategic planning and supply chain management, logistic and commercial operations. He is associated with leading business group like HAL, NTPC, GKW Limited, etc. He is a lifetime member of Institution of Engineers and Indian Institute of Materials Management. Sir, thank you for coming and providing your valuable thoughts today. Over to you, sir. Now you can lead the session, please.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
It's really an honor to me to participate or contribute in this auspicious occasion of conducted by IIMM Jaipur and in association with Nirvana University Jaipur. Fundamentally, I am a supply chain specialist, and I have spent 35 years of my service to various leading organizations, both domestic and international arena. And my passion is supply chain management. So I really love this subject and would be very happy if my contribution is a little bit drop in the ocean and contribute participants or whoever is benefited out of this session. So we are starting with a particular point like what is lean manufacturing. In fact, if we don't know the definition, of course you all are much more knowledgeable to me, but it is important, and it is always helpful to have recapitulating the basics. The lean manufacturing is, if you ask me what is lean manufacturing, then my understanding is, you are doing a lot of exercises or activities in your organization which you are not expert of, and where there are expertise available in the market. So what you fundamentally do is you identify those areas where you are not so experienced or not so expert, and what you are expert is your core competence. You retain that activity with yourself, and all the other areas where you are not expert, like you might be not expert in HR, you might be not expert in maintenance, you might not be expert in housekeeping. So what you do is you find the ideal solution provider who can be of help to you, and you give that responsibility to that particular area. Now, to make this session more interactive, I would request all the participants to open your message box, and whenever I'll be asking some questions, I request you to kindly respond, so that it is a more beneficial and meaningful to all of us. Say, for example, if I ask you that what is the core competence of Maruti, who is the biggest car manufacturer in the country? Would you kindly use your checkbox and let me understand? Well, the core competence of Maruti is assembling cars. They are not car manufacturers, they are car assemblers. So what they do, they simply sublet or outsource the entire activity of making components. So there are many experts available in the market who does that, and what Maruti does is assembling all those components and make a wonderful car. So if you look at the exact few points of what supply chain is, that is, identify the value, map the value stream, create flow, establish pull, and seek perfection. So at the end of the day, the goal is seeking perfection, that what you are doing, you are perfect. So you are analyzing all the values, that is the value added processes in your organization. Then you map the value added streams. Now you assemble all the value added activities in a string, that is create flow, and then establish your pull system, and then you ultimately aim at your perfection. How do you get the excellence in your manufacturing process? If you look at value-added manufacturing, what you do is manufacturing with continuous improvement approach. In all automobile industry, because you know that lean industry came from the age-old auto industry, and the leader was Toyota of Japan. What they did is they never stopped, or they never became happy of what exactly they are doing. What they do is, it's a continuous learning process, it's a continuous improvement process, and at the end of the day, you get a better and better and better and superior results. So that is how you add value in the system. And second point is the inventory should come down. What is inventory? That is the stock what you are holding. They have approached, they have implemented the JIT approach, that is just in time approach, where the inventory you are holding is zero, but there is no stock out. So the entire value chain or the entire supply system is so strongly built that whenever you are needing the material is available at your gate, but you are not stockpiling in your organization. And the advantage is, reduction of your working capital. Ultimately, what we aim to do is we give the best product at the most reasonable rate, at the most appropriate time to your customers to make them happy. So these are the three things which always come in your mind when you do the value analysis or value addition in your supply chain system or in your manufacturing system. So fundamentally what you do is you establish or streamline your resources in such a way that the streamlining is attributing to your cost reduction, less movement, less efforts, less tools utilized, single machine doing multi-purpose jobs, and so on and so forth. This is your one value chain where you are streamlining your manufacturing system, and the other system is your inventory, where you are incurring cost to your organization. More the inventory, more is the cost, because the working capital is always borrowed, and the interest cost of the working capital is your cost, which is irrecoverable. Operating expenses should come down. How? Cycle time should come down. How? So there are various methods which I'll be explaining over a few slides now, where I'll be explaining that how you are going to streamline or downsize your costs by implementing certain techniques and philosophy. And at the end of the day, the yield should go up. That is, your productivity should go up, so that you are utilizing your resources at the best possible extent, so that your cost system is low and your productivity, that is production per hour per machine, is more. What are the systems and tools for lean manufacturing? There are certain theories which I will be sharing with you shortly. That is concept of value chain by Porter. Shear's integrated information system framework. Then information management tools. Then business integration and decision support tools. Then ERP and SCM. Then material processing and handling tools. And lastly, the cellular manufacturing system, which is now the most important activity which all growing organizations or grown organizations are following in manufacturing environment. So let's start with value chain by Porter. His concept is very clear. The concept is called transformation. That is, what you are doing in a manufacturing system is you are inputting the raw material in one side and you are getting the finished goods at the other side. Porter said this process is called transformation. That is, you are buying iron and you are getting a utensil. So you are transforming iron to utensil through your manufacturing process. So your manufacturing process or your transformation mechanism is something which definitely needs all the 5 M's, and 5 M's are money, material, machine, manpower, management. Okay, so you are utilizing all these 5 M's, taking your raw material as input and getting the finished products at the end. This is the concept of Porter. What he said is the costs are determined and profits gets affected by manner in which value chain activities are carried out in the organization. So why one organization making certain product is more efficient or more effective or more cost benefited rather than a similar product manufactured by another company. That is the way or the method by which they are transforming the material from A to B. So all organizations are not following the same method. Please understand. All organizations are not following the same method, as well as the transformation cost goes high and low because of their mechanism of transforming goods. So your value chain and supply chain of two similar companies may not be same, and most of the cases they are not same because there is no standard method to do that. The local environment, the manufacturing setup, the skill set of the people whom your workforce is consisting of are the part of your value chain system, which differs from organization to organization, and that is why the transformation process, the transformation costs varies. Porter's primary and secondary activities. The primary activities are inbound logistics, operations, and outbound logistics. Very simple. The raw material comes into your system, that is called your inbound logistics. Operation are the transformation, that is you are converting the material from raw material to finished goods. And outbound logistics is the process by which the finished goods reaches to the consumer who actually consumes, okay, through your distribution chain, distribution network. So these are the primary activities of any organization, and ultimately how do you reach to your customer is your marketing and sales activity. So this is a different function which are not part of this supply chain. So point A, 1, 2 and 3 are the part of supply chain, whereas point 4 is a marketing effort which are value adding into the system but not part of the supply chain. Service. Why do you need that? The service is important for you because you have your own plant and machinery. You have got your n number of activities like your HS support, your procurement support, your maintenance support. So these all are put together service. These are supporting functions and which are lifeline of your organization to run the show. Your plant, your machine and your labor force is not sufficient to work efficiently within the organization. So the service team is the supporting function which gives the lubricant into your manufacturing system and makes it smooth and efficient. And support activities are procurement, human resource, and technology development. Now, if you talk about world-class manufacturing, or if you talk about global organizations who are competitive enough, what do? They constantly upgrade their technology, constantly. This technology upgradation helps them, number one, to get more and more customers with latest technology. Number two, they reduce the cost of manufacturing. And third, they produce a different product. Example, we are now the entire world is going towards electric vehicle, EV, and there is huge amount of research, R&D is going on and on that particular subject. Almost all car or auto manufacturing companies are investing quite a lot of money in these R&D activities. The reason is why one single aspect, that is by 2050 the whole world should be free of carbon, that is fossil fuel utilization should be 0 by 2050. How do you reach that? Because you have got your steam power, that is thermal power plants, which are consuming huge fossil fuels. You have got your entire transportation system, which is driven by fossil fuel. It may be sea, it may be air, it may be road. So all sort of transportation mode is now fossil fuel. That is why the EV concept is coming so rigorously, so strong, because we have got only 30 years in hand, 28 years in hand to convert the entire world from your fossil fuel consumption to green energy consumption. So now the technology development is, in my understanding, the highest. It is getting the highest impetus at this moment for the organization, for any organization per se, to become carbon free, to become a better world to live in. So that is why technology development is not only for the benefit of the organization, it is benefit for the human society, our race in the whole world. It is beneficial for the flora and fauna of this planet, and ultimately the saving of this planet, the global warming, everything are lying in this particular area, which is technological development. And technological development is always holding hand with supply chain, because if your supply chain is not strong, you are not in a position to adapt the technology changes which your R&D department is giving to the manufacturing team, because your service team, that is your support activities, are not through if you are not well lubricated by these activities. This is a pictorial representations of Porter's value chain model. The support activities are, as I said, the farm infrastructure. You know that plant and machinery, management, finance, legal, all are your farm infrastructure. Next is human resource. I need not have to explain. Technology development, I explained in a bigger way. And procurement is your lifeline for your organization. Now let me put few words on procurement, because if your procurement department is not strong, believe me, your organization is not strong, because 50 to 80% of your cost involvement is your procurement, and procurement is a profit center. Now I am making a confusing statement, contradicting statement. Why? Procurement brings material to you. Okay, it's not only that. Procurement provides service for the organization as well. Now, what are the services procurement takes place? When you talk about lean manufacturing, there are a couple of facades. The first facade is you are buying your raw material. You are giving the input of your plant. Procurement department's efficiency lies in the 5 M's of the entire world other than their own organization, because they are sourcing material from outside industries, and all those outside industries are following this 5 M. Now, if we take a collaborative approach, collaborative in the sense that you are taking the seller as your business partner. So you collaborate, or the procurement team collaborates in such a way that your value chain becomes richer and richer. How? When you are approaching a vendor, say for example, you are buying certain raw materials, which is very critical for you, and you have got 3 vendors. In conventional procurement, what usually used to happen is you send quotation, you get offers, send inquiries, get offers, compare it, maybe technical and commercial, and then find the lowest vendor, talk to him, negotiate, and place the order. So these were called that erratic behavior of procurement. If you do that, you are making one supplier in one time. Now, one step ahead. For example, you entered into a rate contract with that particular vendor for a period of time. In this plan B, your efficiency goes up because you are showing volume to your to the supplier. Because you are entering into a contract, you must be committing some volume, so you can get a better price advantage. Second, the vendor gives more importance to you because you are trusting on them. And third, you try to eliminate the quality issues by doing this. Now, phase 3, where this coordination and collaboration takes place. In that case, you are inviting your supplier in your value chain system. You are showing the entire production facility you have. And then what you are trying to do is you are telling them that, look, these are all my products. You look at all the inputs what we are using and tell me that what are the products you are efficient in and give us support. This is called coordination. So you are showing all these inputs. Now the supplier also feels proud because you are trying to make him comfortable and bringing him to the mainstream. Now, third phase is you are entering into an agreement and forming a team. This team consisting of their manufacturing people, their QC people, their marketing people or sales people, and your manufacturing people, your QC people, and your procurement people. So you are making a 6 persons group who are brainstorming and finding solutions even for the existing products. That this is my existing product, I want to do the value engineering of this particular product and bring it, how to make this cost of production or reduce the cost of it. And then profit sharing, that if I get 5 rupees benefit, then you take 2.5 rupees and I take 2.5 rupees. This is called collaboration. So this is the latest and ultimate trend of procurement function, and it takes lot of technical knowledge, lot of efforts, lot of commercial inputs, so that you become a collaborative procurement manager rather than a single point procurement manager. And that is how the marriage between your lean and your supply chain. Next. That was an explanation of one particular area. Now I'm taking to the brass tacks of the entire activities. How, where, which. This is Shear's integrated approach. In legacy system, when I was working in my earlier days, maybe 15 years, 20 years back, people had a tendency of holding their own data in their department. No, I don't want to share my data because my supremacy will be, my supremacy will be shattered if I share my data. That nobody will give value to me. The management will ask me, and I'll show the data and I'll impress management. So every department had their data, but they were not sharing. As a result, those were called data islands into the whole system, and there was no integration. Shear reflects the process of orientation in an IT infrastructure integrated framework like ERP. Where in the enterprise resource planning, the data is stored in one platform, which is available to everyone to see, analyze, visualize, share. Right? And the advantage of legacy system and current system is this is a link between business function and decision making process relationship, because data is an input and decision is an output. What you do in between is the analysis. So you bring the data, analyze, make it a report form, then again analyze, come to a conclusion. Say, for example, you are having a 1% defect in your product. Your target is, I want to make it 0 defect on certain date. What do? You must be doing RCA, that is root cause analysis, and then you do preventive action. So when you do the root cause analysis, where from you get the input is the data, because when the product is getting rejected, your QC team is feeding that this is the reason of rejection. Now you accumulate all the data of rejection in your system and then categorize it. This is for human failure, this is for technical failure, this is for material failure. So these are the basic 3 failures by which material gets rejected. And now you analyze one by one. You take the priority first. If you see that your human failure is more, say 50% of your total rejection, then what you do, your focus area is human failure, and then you analyze that why the failure is taking place. It may be the carelessness of the operator, it may be lack of knowledge, it may be lack of skill, it may be the machine constraint, whatever. So again, you are sub-analyzing the reasons, and ultimately you are boiling down to absolutely decision-making process that, look, I need to change this machine, I need to train this person, I need to replace this person, and so on and so forth. And that is why the Shears integrated information system is so important in lean manufacturing and lean supply chain process. What are the product and process design tools one manufacturing company takes care of? Those are computer-aided design, CAE, that is computer-aided engineering, CAPP, that is computer-aided process planning, PDM, that is product data management, and lastly, the latest technology what everybody is using is GT, that is group technology. The first 4 points are more or less known to you. Let me explain the GT that is upcoming and everybody is using in this is group technology. In group technology, what everybody do is the product grouping. That similar kind of product is being grouped as a manufacturing group, and then what you do is you are arranging your machines in such a way that similar kind of product are produced in this batch of machine and this batch of people, so that your value chain is very efficient, and similar kind of product are trained by similar kind of people, and thus you get the best result out of it. Let me explain it in a schematic diagram in one or two slides later. Before that, let's understand what are the lean production tools. That is statistical quality control, SQC, barcoding system, and decision support execution and business tools are manufacturing resource planning, that is MRP2. In MRP2, again, I'm coming back to the same old MRP system which all ERP uses. MRP2 is nothing but it is helping you to take a make or buy decision, which is very important for lean supply chain management system. Why? Say for example, at the end of the day, you get your total master production schedule for the entire year, and then you started analyzing that what are my different areas, like what is my total raw material requirement, what is my total plant and machinery requirement, and what is my total budget financial requirement. So what you do is you explode the entire thing with your BOM, bill of material. Then you started analyzing that what is your production capacity per month, how many units you can produce, and what is the target. So you break up into target and manufacturing capacity. So there will be something like plus or minus. If it is plus, minus, it's okay that you are still capable of manufacturing. But if the monthly target is more than what you can make, then what are you going to do? Are you going to buy immediately on your plant and machinery? Who gives you an assurance that next year your budget will be this? It may be more, it may be less. Then the entire pressure comes on the supply chain guys. It comes to the HOD, materials management. What his role is, he then tries to locate who can make these materials in different places. Okay. So fundamentally what he does is, again, he's looking at vendors and for subcontracting that particular process, keeping the core areas intact. So that is the marriage. That is the wonderful marriage between the two organizations. Like this organization is capable of manufacturing high-skilled product, and this organization is capable of manufacturing another item. So it is a marriage between his capability and my capability. And then what you do is you enter into an agreement. So what you are trying to do is, again, you are lean producing. You are planning, you are executing, and between the planning and execution mode, you are streamlining your supply chain management so that your customer is satisfied. How? All customers, all supplies are coming with a date end, that is the delivery date. So that is your ultimate governing date. Supposing your MRP system is telling that with your existing planning system, you can produce this product or customer A's product in May 2022, but customer wants in April, and in April you are completely booked, you do not have any place to look into. Then what are you going to do? Of course you are going to subcontract, or you are in other words, you are making a collaborative approach to another manufacturer who is capable of manufacturing this product. Now, second constraint comes into play is at what cost? Any emergency execution is escalating your cost. So the challenge of your supply chain team, that is where the lean comes into, that you have to make this on time at a reduced cost, where your organization's profitability is intact or more, and developing that product, maintaining the quality, maintaining the time frame. So you can understand what immense kind of load now a supply chain professional is taking into their system. And that is why our Prime Minister also is giving a tremendous pressure on your supply chain, and everywhere he is talking about supply chain and infrastructure, because supply chain does not work monosyllably if your delivery system or execution system is not available, like your road infrastructure, rail infrastructure, seaway, that waterway infrastructure, air infrastructure, all that. So that is where, now coming back to MRP2, that make or buy decision is so deep rooted into your system that unless you are lean, you are not really doing good job. And manufacturing execution system, in manufacturing execution system, that is your inflow, that is your in-house process, in which you are streamlining your whole thing in such a way that you are cutting off your unwanted or non-profitable or less important activities, so that you are become lean and stream. And enterprise resource planning is a platform by which you are doing everything together. And at the end of this session, I will discuss 2 points particularly, that is VRM and EDI. I'll explain that. And all these things is leading to data warehousing and data mining, where again there are experts. Maybe this also maybe outsourced from other organizations who can do the data mining, who can do the data warehousing, because day and day the data volume is increasing, and as the data volume is increasing, your potential goes up and up every day. So you need if you really want to maintain all the data within in-house, then you need to have a tremendous volume of server, which you may not be able to afford, or you may not be liking to afford, because that is a cost, both in terms of maintenance and the resource. So what you do is, again, you are outsourcing. You are buying some space in the cloud, and you are warehousing your data, and then wherever is necessary, you are retrieving or data mining. And finally, the apex part is your supply chain management solution, which gives you the streamlined flow of incoming material, outgoing material, inside movement and all. There are two factors playing in an organization: cost, flexibility and delivery, and internal factors like process and human resource of the organization, which I have explained to you. And the competitive strength of the organization is building up in an by its internal parameters. Technology is the fundamental parameters in the delivers that delivers internal strength of the organization, and the concept. This is a spider net. I have particularly found out this, this picture so beautifully explained. It's visual. This picture is showing the capacity excellence. Again, lean, the capacity excellence of human and machine. There are two lines. The dotted line says it's human, and the dotted line says it is the machine. Dotted line says it is the human, and firm line says it is the machine. Now, what does it depicts or implements or explains? See, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parameters. The parameters are power. These are all capability. Power of processing, speed of processing, repeatability of processing, flexibility of processing, judgment, learning, and accuracy. You can see that in machine, what are the higher points? The higher points is accuracy, the higher point is power, the higher point is speed, and the higher point is repeatability. If you put one component in your CNC machine, program it thoroughly, then it can repeat identical product in n number of cases without any single mistake. The speed of machine is obviously higher than a human being. You remember the John Henry song, the comparison between a steam engine and a human being capacity. And the power, of course, the power of a machine is much more than a human being. Accuracy is much more of a machine than a human being. Now, what are the areas where the this human being is superior? Number 1 is flexibility. Number 2 is judgment. Number 3 is learning. Have you ever heard that there is a machine which learns itself? No. Have you ever heard that a machine is taking a judgment, including a computer? No. Have you heard a machine which has got flexibility? Yes. Flexibility there are a couple of machines which are capable of handling flexibility, but it is much lesser than a human capability. Now, if we club entire things together, that I want to take all the higher points, that is, I want everything on a high zone, then what will happen? That is where the artificial intelligence comes into place, and that is a marriage between lean and intelligence. The artificial intelligence is doing nothing but putting all these 7 parameters at the highest mode. That is why now everybody is talking about AI. So now you can understand the what is the importance of AI and the parameters. Cellular manufacturing. I'll jump into the picture straight away. This is a gear manufacturing company where the left side down is the gear blank which you buy from market, and the product is gear which is top at the top, and they are using GT, that is group technology, that any kind of gear can be manufactured with this set of machines. What are the machines here? There are turning machine 0.1, turning machine 0.2, there is a drill, there is a hobbing machine, there is a shaping machine, there is an induction hardening machine, there are 2 grinding machines, and finally the gear comes up. Now, all gears may not be needing all the operations. And one more point this one is taking is grinding is the slowest operation in the entire value chain in this. So it is very well calculated and made 2 grinding machines so that the bottleneck of the entire manufacturing process is taken care of, and the entire supply chain process goes inside your plant. So the blank comes, it goes to turning 1 point, it may be going to turning 2. So turning 1 and turning 2 are alternative system. Hobbing is a process and shaping is a process. Both are making gears. Okay, so in certain gears you need the hobbing, in certain gears you need shaping, and in certain gears you need both, because there might be some key slots and everything and something which needs shaping machine into play. And then certain gears need induction hardening, certain gears not. Certain gears need grinding, certain gears not. So you can see this is a cellular system, cellular manufacturing system, and this is called group technology is adopted in this particular system, where the entire value chain is so streamlined and so finely made that there is no bottleneck in the whole system, and there is only 2 operators. Only 2 operators. The beauty of this cellular manufacturing process is they are optimizing the human resource to the best possible extent. So the first person on the left side is capable of handling turning and grinding and induction, and the second person in the on the right side is capable of drilling, turning, hobbing, shaping, and induction hardening. So these 2 people's skill set combination is completing the gear manufacturing process, and this is called cellular manufacturing, and the technology is called group technology. Now I think the concept of cellular manufacturing and group technology is understood, and this is where the entire efficiency of your value chain lies. The supply chain mechanism of this particular process is minimized to the fullest extent, so that the man machine operation process are streamlined and no further improvement can be done. Of course can be done, which I'll be coming later. Now I am coming to a very important topic of today's, that is why lean and what do we do in lean. There are 8 wastes as per JIT. 8 wastes. The wastes are waiting. Waste means cost. So whatever you do, the wastes are cost. So what are the cost implementation? One is waiting. If it waits, then it is a cost implication. If it is excess motion, it is a cost implication. If it is unused capacity, it is again a waste, because you are exhausting your value chain by doing nothing. Defects is the enemy of your value chain. Excessive inventory, you are blocking up your working capital. and then overproduction. Of course, overproduction is a waste, because overproduction is, again, you are converting from raw material to finished stage without knowing that what am I going to do with this product, because you do not have an order of it. Okay, so if you do not have an order and you are producing, then you are wasting all the resources and doing nothing, because you do not know when this product will be converted to FG, that is finished goods. I mean sale. If it is not sold, then it is adding, it is your raw material cost, it is your value added cost, and it is your interest cost. So all costs put together comes into this. So therefore, these 8 wastes are the objectives of any lean manufacturing system or lean supply chain system, where you focus that if it waits, it adds cost. Then how do we react so that our waiting period is minimized or make it zero? Excess motion, similarly, is a person taking things from this place to that place. Okay, it's meaningless unless it add values to it. Sorry. Now, this unused capacity is again your most unmet requirement, because you are not utilizing your resources. Therefore, you are keeping it as it is. Transportation. Why transportation is a cost? Because transportation does not add value to your product. Say, for example, you are selling, you are dispatching or sending Adani Wilmar product, that is consumer product, like your basmati rice and things like that. Their manufacturing unit is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and it is being sold to Chennai. Now you are what are you doing? You are transporting those products from Ahmedabad to Chennai. What is the value addition? Zero. Does the quality of basmati rice increases or enhances if you take it from Ahmedabad to Chennai? No. Does the quantity increases? No. Then it is not adding anything into your product. So transportation is a cost, it's a waste. But transportation is needed. Then what is required? Your very strong supply chain, your very strong supply chain mechanism and planning system, so that you optimize the movement in such a way that is the best possible transportation by which there is no wait, no pilferage, no transshipment and all. So that is why your 8 waste of lean is explained, and each and every area is a place for improvement where your lean supply management system applies. Next slide. Yes. Sorry. Now I'm coming to tools of lean manufacturing. What are the tools we normally use for lean manufacturing? These are 3M or lean, 5S of lean, Kaizen, OK, Kanban, TPM, JIT, and TQM. These are all tools for lean manufacturing, including tools of your supply chain system. I'll try to explain you the points if I can. Yeah. Three M of lean manufacturing. These are called Muda, Mura, and Muri. So the meaning of Muda is waste, Mura is unevenness, and Muri is, just a sec, overburden. That is, in this 3M, what you do in the shop floor is, say for example, your production is erratic. Every hour your production rate changes.
Hello, Dr. Mehak.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible to you, Dr. Mehak?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am. Hello.
Yes. So I think there is some network issue.
Yes, ma'am. I think it is there's a network problem. I'll just communicate with the speaker, and we will continue within 2 minutes, ma'am.
I think we should. If possible, we can pause the recording, I think. Dr. Kritika?
Yes, ma'am. I did that. Hello, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Jen, sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, okay. Okay, no issue, sir. You can continue, sir.
Some technical glitches.
No, no issue, sir. Sir, kindly share the screen. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Yeah.
Please continue, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. Uh, uh, so we are talking about 3M, 5S, Kaizen, OKOK, Kanban,
Yes,
TPM,
sir.
JIT, and TQM. These are all known facts, but what I intend to explain 2 points before I conclude this is VMI and EDI. VMI is vendor managed inventory. Since for the entire span, I'm talking about the collaboration between the buyer and the seller. The collaboration is so important in today's date that you can reduce your inventory. You can definitely go for JIT, and you can definitely enter into a lean manufacturing system if you have got a very good, extremely good supply chain management system and extremely good vendors. And believe me, you should always look for one more vendor. Please do not be very happy with your existing vendor, because the entire globe is open for you. It's not only the local, it's an international market. Now we are in, the whole country is thriving with lot many things, like now the semiconductor is a big challenge for all automobile industry. Now what they're doing, they are trying to manufacturing it in India. They are trying to get that technology. So this is a collaboration. This collaborative approach to a vendors is important. Like in automobile industry, what they do is they call it VMI, that is vendor managed inventory. If you have to have your JIT techniques in place, somebody has to hold the inventory, either you or someone else. Then this someone else is nothing but VMI. Then what VMI is do is vendor managed inventory. That is, vendor manages the inventory with them, and then what they do is they fundamentally work with the vendor, and the entire information system is open to that particular vendor. What they do is there is a constant chain of communication with the vendor and the purchaser. It was a little bit earlier situation where people used to do that, and now even we have gone one step ahead. That is called this electronic data interface, EDI. What they do, in your ERP system, your vendor can see what is your planning. Your vendor can see what is your inventory level, and then based on their production, your production plan or your inventory level, what they do is they plan accordingly that how much I have to produce, so that on Wednesday in the morning, how much quantity I have to deliver at the shop floor level. When you do that, this interface is automatic. It's not a man driven. So your ERP system and the vendor's ERP system is clubbed together, and his planning module is taking an input from your planning module, and then that is making their production plan. So it is so integrated, so beautifully integrated, that VMI and EDI, that is, these two are clubbing together with all current well maintained manufacturing system, and it is a seamless process, because data does not speak wrong. If the data is fed correct, the result is fed, the result will be correct. And as all organizations are dependent on data, so most of the organizations are very particular of the data accuracy. So that if the data accuracy is correct, your planning is correct, your production system is correct, so your production planning is clubbed with your vendor's production planning through EDI, and then the vendor produces the product at the time when it is actually needed. See, if you really want to make it a win-win kind of scenario, then what happens is you also will definitely not like your vendor to stockpile with inventory, because that is also a cost, and where from you will get that cost, he will definitely charge you back and your product cost will go up. So it is a vicious chain. So to avoid this vicious chain, your planning tool should be absolutely sharpened enough so that exact and accurate information goes to them. If I make 200 Swift Desire in Maruti Manesar plant today in the morning shift, then I should have 200 driver seats in the morning at the gate. If it comes 9-10, you are losing your production. If you get 21, then you are making one inventory. So this is a knife edge, and the whole planning system is standing on this knife edge, and that is how the entire organization works, and that is how the manufacturing system, the supply chain management system, and at the end of the day, the entire process is clubbed together. So that's it. With this, my today's session is over, and thank you very much for your participation, and I hope that I could add value to your thought process. Now I can give you 5 minutes to have for some discussions. Okay, I think there is nothing to discuss. So at this point, thank you very much for all of you, and I would request, Dr. Bhatia, you have got something to say? You are not audible, please. Still, you are not audible. Barely. Yeah. Now, yes.
Voice is not coming.
I cannot hear you honestly. Can you do this in the chat box so that I can see you in the chat box? Please type it in the chat box. Okay, then thank you very much for your kind hearing and participation. And I would like to.
Yes, I would like to give my sincere thanks to Mr. Jayanta Chakraborty, sir, for giving such an insightful talk on the lean manufacturing that covers the aspect of goals to achieve the excellence in manufacturing, the concepts of a different supply chain management that includes the primary activities of that, how they are going to support it. That includes the outbound logistics, the inbound logistics, the operations, the marketing and the sales and the servicing. Right, and the support servicing that is helping the organization, that includes the procurement, different HRM practices, the technology, and a beautiful web that the sir has explained regarding the capabilities of the human and the machines. What are the difference of the capabilities? So thank you so much, sir, for providing such a good talk. I hope this talk will help the manufacturing industries, people who are connected with us from the social media, and all the academicians and the research scholars who are connected with us. Thank you so much, sir. And I would like to give my thanks to all the organization committee members also who are there with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chakraborty.
Yes, sir.
Khandelwal, good morning.
Khandelwal sir,
Thank
good
you very
morning
much
to you.
for sparing your time and giving so much insight about the lean manufacturing to all the participants. This program will also be live on the Facebook. So there are other participants also. They must be seeing directly through the Facebook and other media.
Thank you, Khandelwal sir, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience in this forum. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you,
Signing
sir.
off.
Thank you. Thank you.